Hello. I am Animals and I am casting this EU Cup. Um, yeah, but I am Animal. Taking a little bit too long to get started over here. Let's see, is anyone in a game? This guy is, but he's super new. Huh. Can't tell if these are all Smurfs or what. Let's look at this guy. 54% win rate. 61. 52. Still could be a Smurf. It's probably Trolltracky. Oh, it actually might be. What the hell? He's going against Asasasas. Oh, but they're... Oh no, they're beating Asasasas. It probably is Trolltracky. What the fuck? Harbs facing in. Frost Shower does have another ship for the DI. Goo thrown out onto Boss Gaming, but he has space, so that was a pretty big waste. And an ult just right in the face of the gunner. Gonna take him out. He said shit, but I don't know. His team was not doing well by him, if you ask me. Hopefully we'll see some people get on though. Let's see. Still just 4 teams, but one of them disbanded because they lost the game. And there's a lot of people looking for teams, so I think like the decent people will get on later, but this might be an entire like waste of time. But we'll see. It's Sunday Cup. Like everyone plays Sunday Cup. There we go. There's one team. And this guy with like 1,000 victories is looking for a team. This guy with 4K victories looking for a team. I don't even get how people get like grade 16. I guess it's not that hard. Well, he did have to play a lot of games. But still, like ever since the reset. Actually, DZN's like rank 1, so even US has queues, I guess. Unless he's queuing EU. "12 people in Diamond." Oh wow. PTX is pretty high up there. I don't get how like this many people can be in Diamond League though. That's weird to me. Like people in EU actually play a lot. Fake Arborist over here. Alright. Let's see. Hopefully there's some more games going on. Nope, just this team. Well, then again, it's hard to tell by grades anymore because some people just don't farm for grades whatsoever. Maybe Arborist will play. He just logged in. He has like better ping to EU than me, so. But he probably won't play. Huh. Anyway. What are the comps? They have an Astro on Worm team, so I think we already know who won. Nah, their comp's actually not that bad for an Astro team. But yeah, like Upad is just pushing in, keeping them back. Goes in for double click on Astro. Parries nothing, but is just gonna pop Aegis and try to man fight this Metal Warden here. Gets another shifted or other sided, sorry. Another double click onto the Astro and lands a trance, and now the Astro can actually take a somewhat decent fight against Upad. He's actually getting low and he's spaced really awkwardly, but he does have other side, and it is used, but he gets taken out by a random rocket launcher. He's kind of playing a little bit drunk here. And Worm team is actually not too bad. I mean, I wonder. 200 games played, 1600 games played, 21 games played. That's kind of funny. Nice Smurfs is what he says. Yeah, I don't think they're Smurfs. I think that's their mains, but I think Oop had just overextended a bit. But they actually won the 2v3. I didn't even pay attention to that. And yeah, so round 1 still goes the way of Cold. That's actually somewhat sad, but that's what Seeker can actually do quite well. I got like 1v3'd by Seeker recently, but it was kind of a trolly game. It wasn't a tournament game. But anyway, yeah, Seeker can kind of do that shit. But a lot of damage already going down to Worm. Ice Arrow off the mark, but a Lightning Arrow does hit too. And Daylock is kind of pushed into the corner by Upad. 2-man Drunken Haze, but doesn't last too long. Double kick onto Daylock, but Upad gets locked on his M1, but it has an ult, and the first tick of it just kills off the gunner. And they're surrendering, I guess. And apparently you get XP. Do you really get XP? I wonder. Anyway, Reverb bounces in, pops his parry, but gets locked on his M1. Has to back off. Both chances used, but not really being effective. Daylock gets Ice Arrowed right on his execute and gets spaced back. Spaces even further back, and Upad just takes him out for free. This game's too one-sided to cast. But let's go see something else. Maybe something better is going on. Yeah, we got 12 participants now. Who's this? Let's add Dagoff. Alright. Okay. So let's watch this game. We have a Seeker. That's probably not an actual random, but it could be. It's probably just bugged. Oh, okay, yeah, it was just bugged. So Seeker Harb, which is proven to be a really strong combination, but they actually have some pretty good heroes against it. I mean, I don't know if BP's like great against Seeker and Harb. Actually, I'd say that he's not that good, but like he can still like manage himself. But Ravener is pretty good against both of them, and then another Seeker. I'd say it's pretty even comp wise. And what medallions do we have here? Let's look at the Seekers. They both have Frost Shard, which can be helpful versus the melees that they're facing. Not so helpful versus the Seekers unless they get close to each other, which they can with their spaces. But then we have Worm with a Smorgs and Cold with a Meteor. Ravener spaces in, pops his spin, but doesn't reflect anything. Backstab Shadow Bolt onto Dagoth, so he loses quite a bit of HP. Affliction onto Davide, and he spreads it to his Rav. Rav already farmed up ult. I believe he had the rune, and Balborg wastes his trance a little bit, gets other sided, but he's still kind of in trouble. He's getting hit by everything. This Rav is actually like doing a lot of work, and now Davide has his ultimate farmed up. Gonna shoot one, but it misses. Kind of a crazy shot that he took right there, didn't pay off. And Thu Cry is incredibly low. Psychopomp in a very bad spot, but he doesn't want to swap his teammates because they're incredibly low, so he would end up fucking them over. But there is a cross kill if he can other side his teammate. I guess he didn't need to. He could have been alright, but his teammate might die if he doesn't get healed. Oh my god, that other side was accidentally godly. So they're still in it, but like they're so far behind. And another ult is farmed, and oh, if he used them both on the Seeker, that was for sure a death. But Seeker kills himself with Earth Arrow, and that's it right there. Pretty crazy round. Davide ended up overextending a bit, and even though the start looked kind of bad for Cold, like Nerdamir, I don't know how to say his name. He just like played really well. Definitely MVP'd that round. Yeah. So Rav comes in, punts Harb, he has to space back. Gets a 2-man hemorrhage with that nether shift, so that's pretty good, but he's trying to man a Rav, and it's actually working for him though. The hemorrhage really paid off there. He ended up taking an even trade. I think they both used their Aegises though. Yeah, Nerd is like pretty low. Doesn't have too much. Well, now he does have energy farm. Blood Grip, I believe, was reflected right there, but it doesn't actually pull you. David, he gets a nice 2-man ult after landing a trance and moving really far forward. Given Blood Shield, and now Nerdamir has his own ult, but a part of it gets others are swapped, but it's still fine. He lands 2 really big hits with the second one. And now BP's throwing out his ult. It would have hit the it did hit Thu, I believe, but it would have hit the Pomp if it weren't for that punt. But it still is gonna end up working out for them. Space in by Nerd, and misses his Thunder Strike, but I believe he missed his ult too, but it doesn't matter. Psycho Pomp was just too low, too far out there. Let's see her cooldowns. She didn't have other side or swap. Didn't have enough energy for Aegis. Yeah. Definitely problematic for her there. But here we are, round 3. It's 2-0. Nerd already gets a nice start. Even reflects the Shadow Bolt onto Thu. and Manure is just getting Earth Arrow spaced. Already lost half his health just to Secret alone. He's just kind of standing too aggressive. And Balborg is actually DCing right now, so he has 1000 MS and 140% reset, and he's just kind of shooting random abilities. Alright. Pretty strolly game. There should be a better game out here by now. No, this game isn't looking good. Let's see what these guys are watching. Oh, they just 1v1ing each other. Okay, fuck. Let's watch that other game then. Or should we? Let's see. Here's people to watch. Devil 777. Alright. Oh, but Devil's logged off. Oh no. Okay. I don't know how to spell his name. Is it with the 1? Shit. Let me look at him again. Devil 777 with like some eyes or some shit. Oh, they're gonna like have to kick me. Why can't I add this guy? Oh, I already have him added. Okay, anyway, fuck it. I'm just gonna watch this guy's game. Or should I watch Mark's? Or he might be in a better one. Their game hasn't started yet, so we can watch this. Okay, this should be better, but it looks like it's already like halfway done. Alright, we could watch like the last round. So, it's Astro Stalker Igniter versus BP Metal Warden Ranid. And I think that like the BP Metal Warden Ranid teams, like their comp is, I think their comp's really good. I can't say much about Cold Team's comp because it's really a weird comp. I've never really seen this, but Opposite doing some big damage onto Metal Warden, and I think he landed like 2 volcanoes on him already, so that's pretty good. Stalker's kind of low though, and I thought that was an Astro beam, but that was a fire beam onto 2. Metal Warden really low, gets stunned up by the Astro. Moist is like lagging or something. Astro beam comes out, gonna finish off Metal Warden. We should just go watch the other game. Okay, this is gonna be a stomp though. It looks like Upad did go down, but that's another 2 range team with Astronomer. We already kind of saw this one. But there's a Dryad this time instead of what I believe was a Alchemist the first round, or the first time they played. I don't remember though. Maybe it was like a Blood Priest or something. But anyway, Upad kicking forward. A solar beam or whatever it's called lands onto Trollface. Fire arrow shoots out, doesn't hit anybody, but Upad is just like killing the Astro by himself basically, and the Seeker is not doing a good job keeping him off of his Astro. Trollface, however, is doing a good job. I believe Upad just landed a 2-man meteor. I can't see who has meteor or what, but a pull into a double amplify from Upad or from Sika Possum, and that's just murder right there. He pulled the Seeker into the Nature's Wonder where the Astro was gonna get hit by the amp, and it would turn into a 2-man amp. It was pretty crazy. I would agree with Need Angel. Boosting GG. I don't know if you are actually getting 2 FPS. I don't know why that would be happening. I hope that's not happening. But anyway, yeah, this is like a stomp. Double 7-7 isn't really queuing right now. So there's like, I don't think there's that many good teams queuing right now. I'm gonna add this guy. This guy's not even playing. Let's look at Balborg. All right, so we got 3 melees picked up here. SM is like, even though it can be kind of easy for him to like land trances onto Glutton, I think SM has just like a really hard time dealing damage to Glutton. I think he'll also have a hard time dealing with Metal Warden as well. And they have a lot of AoE on Worm with the meteors, the whirling blades, and the thorn poles. Like that can turn into a lot of combos, but they have to be able to land them, which can be like pretty hard for them. So anyway, we'll see. I think Cold has the much easier comp to execute. The Grimrock was trying to space his Metal Warden there, I think, and accidentally spaced himself, and now he's kind of in trouble. They're gonna go for him, but it took him a little too long to kill a totem, and the Psycho Pump isn't healing his SM nearly well enough. An R was thrown out after a Whirling Blade was landed, and the R ended up just CCing the SM and like landing on nothing, so that was really bad. I think Cold not only have the better comp, but have more skill. We'll have to see though. That could have just been a bad round. But what this SM really needs to do is probably just focus Metal Warden as much as he can, and like maybe CC Grimrog. Thorn really has to hold down M1 though. It's gonna be really hard. Thorn spaces in, Glutton spaces him as well. Both of their R's used, and this SM is trying to trade M1s with Glutton, which is a really big no-no. Can't do that. The Glutton is just gonna build up amplify stacks on you and just rape you. So he doesn't have an entrance though, and now he's kind of turning it around. Glutton pops his Aegis, and Scand has an ult, so he's actually gonna start winning this. Nobody's healing him. He's given a totem, but will that be enough? He's given himself Revitalizing Storm, and he's gonna sit in that for a little bit. But meanwhile, Balborg is kind of in trouble. Another totem thrown out for Balborg, and Thu CCs himself with the art. An ult thrown down onto Maz, but it doesn't do quite enough damage. A meat throw is used as well, doesn't kill him though. He spaces back. Scand is incredibly low, as is Maz, and I think Maz is just gonna die right here. No, he's Aegis, but it is Scand that goes down. They couldn't complete the kill. They needed to just finish somebody, and they had Cold in their grasp for a while, but yeah, nobody could like close it out there. And Balborg saying we are so much tanky. 2 tanks with Grimrog is insane. They need to kill the totem like as fast as it comes up, but they have 2 melees, and melees really hate killing totems because it just takes so much time out of their day to do it. Anyway, Scan kind of losing his fight versus the Metal Warden, and 420 Blaze is just like completely being soloed up by the Glutton, not handling the 1v1 well. And ult is going out. It's hitting too, so that was pretty good. Moz has just been kind of irrelevant. He's gonna try to throw out a CC here. Hopefully he doesn't break it too early, and he did break it early. With Thorn, when you use your Mushroom Spore, you have to throw your Q after the Mushroom Spore is finished. Like, if you throw it before it's finished, you won't do full damage and you won't pull them. So, yeah. This was just really one-sided again. Hopefully, Corsation and Clarny play the tournament. This is gonna be another one-sided game. Upad pushing in. Volcano landed on Psy. No amp after that. Upad landing a parry onto the Seeker. Given 2 shields, they kind of stacked them. Nice swap on that Volcano, but Trollface has an ult now, from the looks of it. And he can get a 3-man right here. At least got 2. And we'll kill Glutton with the Volcano after that, so nicely played. It looks like all of Worm Team actually had their ults right there, so there's no way Cold were gonna pull themselves out of that one. But yeah. Round 2. All the ranged abilities by the Reaver miss, but a nice mind control lands, and they throw Volcano and Reaver space onto it. He's given other side though, no trance, lands a 2-man fire arrow, and Soulbind landed on Worm as well. They were just stacking up a little bit too much, but Upad spaces in, gets his shield, 2-man kick, and the Seeker spaces in and then gets amped and then trances after. That was a big problem, and Psychopomp kind of in a bad position. Oh wow, really nice Volcano right there on top of the ult. Trollface killed the Seeker with a really fast ult of his own though, which really was what ended up winning that round. That and just the huge skill disparity. Here we see Devil 7-7 queuing, but now he's kind of going up against randoms as well. It looks like his team is high grade though, and Devil is really good himself, so hopefully we'll see something interesting here. I'm gonna play some music, but I hope it doesn't like mute me. Okay. Blackie spacing in, gets weakened up by the Mantra, and Zeke is in a very bad spot. He's actually just DCing though. I guess he's not DCing. Chronoflux is thrown out onto him and he actually shoots into it. What's going on with him? It doesn't look like he's DCing. That was kind of awkward. I guess he's lagging out or something. Maybe this game will be closer than we think. This Shifty guy actually has he has Death Dealer on, or not Death Dealer. He has Lawrence Fury, which is a very bad medallion. But he's only level 16, so you can't blame him. I think Mark of the Assassin costs like 2,000 blood coins, pretty steep. Z-King accidentally gets gripped, and a 3-man Nether Shift goes through the entire hemorrhage. Cancel or Shadowbolt cancel casted by Koro's Iron Claw, which is pretty good, but no secondary cancel or no secondary Shadowbolt came through until the parry was off cooldown again. And actually, Engineer just going on his own, kind of just kind of handing these rounds over to Cold. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. He's playing very drunk right now, so I mean, they could actually probably win this 2v2. but we'll see what happens. Time Temporal Lockdown lands, and Alk is amped, so he has to back off, and Reaver just goes a little bit crazy on his own. Goo came in. I think if Reaver had waited a little bit, they might have been able to kill somebody here with this Goo, but yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here with this this game. On paper, Worm are like 3-0ing this. Like, it's kind of sad. Alright, round 3, Shadow Bolt thrown out. Not gonna hit Blackie though. Blackie spacing in, 2-man kick, 2-man Drenkin maybe, no, just one. Onto Daylock. And he dodges the Mantra, goes back to try to EX kick Shifty, which would have been really good, but Shifty nether shifted early anyway, and still got hit by the deadly inject explosion. Nice double kick, double sleep, and a meteor as well. Blackie just meleeing straight forward onto Daylock, who spaces forward into the middle of the map. He has Temporal Lockdown, but no, he missed all 3, but nobody was going on his target anyway. And Blackie has ult. Does Shifty have nether shift? He doesn't. And he goes down in the corner. Z-King is kind of losing his 1v1 to Metal Warden, and he actually kills himself in the Chrono, so it's going to be 2v2. Temporal was thrown down, but it was immediately interrupted by Koro's God, why could I never remember that spell name? Iron Claw, right? And that was a bit of a mistake. Blackie does get a nice pull though, and an EX kick immediately, but no space on cooldown. Okay. I was wondering why he didn't space, but it wasn't on cooldown. The Herald space is like such a long cooldown, man. It's 11 seconds. Oh no, it's only 10 seconds. Okay. Is it? Oh, Chrono's only 10 seconds. What am I thinking that Herald has? It's 10-second cooldown, or 11 seconds. I guess nothing. I could have sworn it was 11, but I guess I'm wrong. 2-man Drunken Haze though, that's a good start for Blackie. But he didn't space in on it, so he didn't really get to capitalize. Nice block on that Fear with the parry. Z-King went in a little bit too heavy though. He's weakened, getting pushed back by Metal Warden in a Temporal Lockdown. If Shifty would turn around on him, he could probably get a kill, but he's also doing a good job of distracting the Alchemist, and he actually goes down. I'm really surprised that Worm have lost. I think Z-King really was throwing though. He's always in positions that an engineer should not be in. You kind of have to just sit back and let your Reaver do a lot of work. You need to be able to give him shrink and stuff. And actually, Reaver is doing a decent job staying on Daylock. He can space onto that, and he's going to kill him for sure. So they're not out of it. Devil is in a lot of trouble though. This Harb is ulted, and unless there's a double kick soon, yeah, no double kick. Just then, there should be one. It was on one target though, and even though he gets the kill, he didn't CC the Harbinger. Got hit up with the Affliction and went down. So wow. Z-King actually pulling 40 TPS. I wonder what's wrong. Might just be lagging or something. Who knows? Okay, here's a pretty decent looking game. Upad CC'd up. Everyone could be really low health, so it's hard to cast stuff like this. Upad pushed back. Ult flying out, not going to hit anyone. Vengeful Storm might have done a lot of damage, but it ended up missing. Upad had parry anyway. Ult coming up from Sick Possum, and another ult onto Romance and Roman, and he went down. And yeah, very fast round in our eyes. I think Roman was incredibly low because since we started watching, he only did like 700 total, so that's not very much. He must have been playing really defensively, and actually they traded spawns. I didn't notice that. But Roman spaces in, gets spaced back by Troll, and he does land a Thunderstrike onto Sick. But Upad is getting a decent in on the Stormcaller. Gonna go space onto BP, who just spaces away immediately. Upad pulls him and is back on him, but BP blinds him away. And this lets Rav kind of continue moving forward. But actually, Rav should maybe not move so forward. Gets ulted at the very end of his reflect, so that was a nice shot by Troll. A risky shot, but definitely worked. And that's going to be 3-0 for these guys. I think I want to change the music. I don't know what I could listen to. Alright. I wish it was easier to see these games, or see like what game is going on. Here we go. This guy is a good player. Just join his game. Oh, there we go. So we got Worm Team, Dagoth, Nerd, Davide, and Cool Team, Hercules, Cat Lover, and Online US. Yeah, Online Us or something. Who knows? He's not a US player, that's for sure. But we'll just call him On. If I do ever end up using anyone's name. Hopefully I don't. But Nerd goes with the same pick as he did in the last game, but Davide switches up to Stormcaller. But Nerd is pretty good on the Rav last time. But he has to face a Stalker, a Gunner, and an Astro. I think in their own ways they can all kind of handle Rav well. Oh shit. It appears there's a fire in my home. Let's say. Oh, false alarm. Okay. Yeah. So Nerd is spaced in, weakened up by Cat, and two shields already used on him. He used the Aegis, but they get a nice space in onto Herc. But Online picks up on that and spaces onto Davide as well. Takes a lot of his HP. So you see onto Astro as soon as Nerd swapped to him, but it was almost really good because Herc almost went down because of it. Nerd spaces in on the Astro Beam, does interrupt it somewhat early, and goes for a big ult. Will kill Cat Lover if he gets one more hit, but ends up not going for it, which was the right move. He ended up helping Dagoth kill the Gunner with the ult, and then Davide with the Stalker. Nerd is actually pretty good. Nerd Amir. I want to look at his win rate. Oh wow, 74%. Might be well, I don't know. He's not a Smurf. He has 4,600 games played or won, but I've never heard of this guy. God damn. Okay, I have no idea why that's happening. There is no fire in my home, but anyway. Slice and Dice onto Grimrog. Ends up spacing out of it. Nerd knocks back Gunner, but he's incredibly low. Almost got hit by that Execute, but the aim was slightly off. Black Dagger moves in deeper. Slice and Dice, but no follow-up for it. And Reflected pin down, but it didn't hit Herc, and Herc casts a full Execute, lands onto Dagoth, who does have his ult, by the way. Nerd has his ult as well. No chance on Cat Lover, and I believe he used his space. Nerd actually spaces back, and I think he was accidentally hit by an M1 by Stalker there. Davide might be able to get a kill with his ult. Yeah, he's gonna go for it. He does get it, but he dies to I think he died. Yeah, he died to Gunner because Stalker got the last kill. But yeah, I gotta find out why. There's like all sorts of fucking fire alarms going off. But I guess I'll risk it. Anyway, Davide's spacing forward. Two-man motor almost landing. Execute to zone him out, but Nerd has nothing to fear anymore, so he spaces in. Lands a Thunderstrike. And a Hailstorm almost stuns up on. But Nerd, oh, he accidentally fails on stealing the rune, and Cat Lover actually gets it. And Puncturing Strike landing on Nerd. He does have a Reflect after, but nobody's quite shooting him. There is an Electrify and a stun onto Cat Lover, so that Astral Beam did not last long, but it still did decent damage. Two-man silence from Davide. He does have an ult. He can space and double that Astro, but he doesn't try to go for the Astro. He can now though, and Herc does have a space of his own, and Herc just ends up spacing back, lands a rocket launcher, but he accidentally kills himself with the Execute. A lot of blunders going on here, and score 1-1. All of a sudden we're in a 2v2. Nerd trying to reflect a Astral, but he does, like, he has really quick reactions, cancels the reflect and pops Aegis. Really nice by him. Doesn't hit that trance from Cat Lover. On is very fast with his Breakstone on that Thunderstrike, and now Dagoth is kind of in trouble. He has an ult though, pops an Aegis, but his Ravener ends up losing out to the Stalker. And I think the online is actually a pretty good Stalker. Wonder if he's a Smurf. Yeah, it looks like he's a Smurf. No one does this well. Ooh, I do smell smoke. Looks like my family burned some shit. Classic them. Nice two-man motor. He does land this time by Hercules. He cancel casts his Execute and lands it the second time, so it's looking really good for Cold now. Nice blind onto Nerd. Hailstorm did not land onto Hercules, I believe, though. Execute lands onto Nerd again, but it didn't do too much because of the Spike Shield. And online is just trying to ward off the Grimrock, who does have... He lost quite a bit of health. None of those rockets really landed, though. Does Herc have a space? Because he's taking so much damage. He does not. Yeah, let's see. He had space on 0.1 cooldown. And he just used his ult, so he had no way of using Aegis or his sprint medallion. I'd say that was kind of a throw right there for the Cold Gunner. Yeah. Well done by Worm nonetheless. That ult was pretty ill-advised. It did get him around before that though, so I can kind of understand why he got excited. I go to kill Gunner. Good job trying. So it looks like the plan is to kill Gunner this time. Execute does not land, and neither does Modar. Space in by Nerd, and he does knock Astro away. Thunderstrikes the Gunner, CC's the entire team, and steals a rune, but somehow Davide is losing to the Stalker, even with Grimrock healing him. He spaces straight onto Stalker, but Stalker has space of his own, so he'll just leave after that. Thunderstrike, and then very early Reflect onto Nerd, breaking it. I don't know if that was quite right to do it that way, but Herc spaces back. He has an ult, so we've seen this before. The ult starts getting reflected, but there's an Astral Beam and a landed Execute on the back of that. Slice and Dice onto Nerd, but he spaces away. Black Dagger onto Davide. Nerd pushing in, has another Slice and Dice farmed up, and he could potentially get a good one, but actually I didn't even notice Gunner was just getting too low, and there's just a totally missed like celebration ult by Davide after Gunner went down. Silence onto Stalker, Slice and Dice onto Davide, but Stalker gets hit by a kind of random thrown out Grimrock ult. He accidentally spaced into it actually, and Orm actually pulls it. Well played by them. But let's watch something else. I wish Clarny would play, but I guess, I mean, they still have 10 minutes to queue up. Let's watch Cat Lover. Fuck. Markzer. Oh, there we go. There's actually some good teams on, so this should be like a good playoffs to cast. Alright, so we have Opposite on his Metal Warden, which he always plays, and Captain on his Seeker that he always plays. As far as the other players, I've never seen Markzer on Herald, and I just don't know the other players, so we'll just have to watch and see. Moist steals a rune, gets hit by a meteor and a charge bolt though. It takes a lot of his HP. He does have an ult farm after all of it though, and he pops it, so he's not going to take too much damage right now. But is he dealing a lot of damage? He forced a lot of cooldowns, lands an amp, and right before the Seeker ult popped in, Opposite almost had nothing. Nice try at that Nether, or that Shadow Curse, but it ends up not hitting. That might have actually got a kill if it hit him in the back though. Captain throwing out a Frost Arrow, lands but immediately broken by Affliction. And a Charge Bolt landing on Moist, but he has a totem for himself, so he's completely fine. Temporal Lockdown onto one. Dr. Polish spaces out Huzzah after it, so that was pretty nice. And actually, I believe Captain Huzzah had a double cast Fire Arrow, and both of them landed on Death Stick, so he ends up going down. Died pretty hard. This comp though that Cold is running, Harbinger Seeker, is so scary. They can both live for a really long time, and like they're both kind of heroes that like the longer they live, the more the other team is dying. It's kind of like scary how well they complement each other. Nice trance on that Shadow Bolt there, and Captain moves to the rune, but he won't get it. Death Stick does take the rune. And Death Stick might get some really good combos going here on Captain, but he gets spaced back by his teammate. Lands a trance onto the Shadow Bolt, but as soon as that happens, Death Stick spaces away, and actually Opposite was just like completely manhandling Moist right there, so a really short round. I didn't quite see what happened, but it was probably just an overextension, plain and simple. Huzzah smorgasing. I think the other thing is Huzzah maybe should have not gone for the play that he went for. It was going bad for them in all sorts of ways right there. Where did that burst come from? That's actually another thing about this Harb Metal Warden comp though. Even with the Herald, I would say like the Herald adds even a little bit more burst, but like Shadow Bolt with Charge Bolt and just like the CC that like and like displacement that both Metal Warden and Harbinger have, like you really will eventually find that like you're just gonna get hit for a fuck ton of damage, like if you're just overextending. So it's I'd say that it's a pretty even fight between these two teams. Huzzah given another shift after he's gripped out, still holding on to his trance. Affliction given or put onto Moist, but he frost shards Death Stick. Actually, I believe he missed it, but he was also hit by a Shadow Bolt, so he's lost a lot of HP. Death Stick has a lot of energy, but wastes it on a meteor that didn't end up landing. It was really close to hitting too, though. Huzzah was kind of in trouble, but he gets spaced back, and now Opposite and the Moist kind of 1v1ing up. A 1v1 that the Moist should generally win, but he got feared by Markzer and then hit by a huge backstab Charge Bolt, so he got really low. Markzer ends up spacing, and Cold Team sees like blood in the water. They go for it, but they didn't quite hit him. His teammates freaked out though, and maybe they get a good in, but actually, holy shit, look at that combo. 2-man Meteor with 2-man Affliction, so much stuff. They also both got knocked out of that leash. It was really pretty right there. Nice space by Captain dodging that Meteor. Lands a Lightning Arrow. Ice Arrow, double Ice Arrow. Doesn't hit on opposite though because of his Iron Claw. And Moist so low, almost going down. Amped Temporal Lockdown, I believe. Hit with Affliction, and opposite does an Iron Jump, knocking Huzzah out of a leash, I believe. And that's going to be enough for him to just Charge Bolt Huzzah, get the kill, get the win. Nice game from both teams for sure, but Worm showed that they were much stronger, I'd say, other than that one round. Is Upad not in the game, or am I just lagging? I am just lagging. I'm lagging really bad. I think, well, it should be fine. Upad throwing out an ult. Yeah, I'm definitely lagging. And it looks like, I don't know this gold team, but they took a victory right here. Let's look at their most played. Oh, these guys have quite a few wins. This guy has 80% win rate on Nomad. What the fuck? Harb's facing forward. Drunken Haze not landing anywhere near. Harb dodging that fire arrow though. Misses his Affliction, trying to predict Upad's space. And Upad is Deadly Inject. Nothing lands on him though, other than the DI explosion in the weekend. Parham spaces in. Probably could have used that Nether Shift a little bit earlier. Gets a nice Mushroom Sword, but then breaks it immediately with his pull. That was a little bit unfortunate for him. And he R's a little bit too early when he spaces in, and they amp him and they just do so much damage to him. He gets a space onto Troll Face. He might be able to CC Troll, but he ends up hitting the Trance, and Troll's trying to go for the Alk, but the Alk is fine. Pulls it out of the goo. That's unfortunate, but also pulled him into ult. Trollface had space anyway, and Troll just goes down to Harbinger, who's actually started kind of doing work. Actually, I'd say, and never mind, like Thorn was the one really doing the work there. It almost looked bad for him, but he bought enough time for his team, and Upad couldn't really do much against the Alk and the Harbinger on his own. Need help with Thorn, says Upad. I don't think they should. I think it'd be really bad if he did it, unless he did it like exactly when it was right. It's hard to know as a melee when to go for the other melee, the other guy that's pushing in. But anyway, this Harbinger is just taking way too much damage. Already up to half health and like no energy. He hasn't landed an ability. Trollface even lands a very long range fire arrow on him to add insult to injury. But on the good news, Alchemist already almost has her ult because of all the healing she's had to do. Ult from Upad coming out to Parham. He gets a 2-man Drunken Haze, and actually a Trance lands on that Shadow Bolt anyway, so it's not even worth anything. And a 3-man ult, but I don't think it didn't do too much other than to the Harbinger. Nice Nether Strike and a goo to follow that, but they didn't stay in the goo for very long. I think the goo is very slightly misaimed. Harb in a lot of trouble. Spaces back just at the wrong time. Seeker hit him with an arrow and then spaced onto him. Pretty fast death for the Harb there. And nice trance landed by Trollface. Possum ulting Thorn, finishing the round. Thorn is trying to do a lot of rat plays. I kind of like how they switched it though, where the Reaver is killing the Thorn and the Seeker is now killing the Harb and like keeping the ranged players at bay. I think Cold Team can't really do that. Like I think Worm kind of figured it out right there. 2-man space coming out, and actually a really nice. That's a really nice start for Cold right there. They got like so much 2-man stuff and nice Nether Strike as well. Gonna take a lot of damage. Like look at Trollface's real HP while Sicka Possum is incredibly low too, being chased by the Thorn. An ult comes out and Thorn pulls the Dryad back into the ult, and that's just it. I mean, did she have Wisp? What did she have? She did not have Wish, did not have Space. Space. She did have Surgens, but I mean, she had to use the Surgens to dodge the pull, and that would have been really hard. But if she did do that, then she might have lived to. She would have lived to be about like at overall like 10% team HP versus like 70% team HP. So you know, still gonna lose. But it looks like we might have one more game to cast. It is against a kind of random team though, so I'm gonna look at this other game going on. Oh, this one might be slightly closer, so I guess I'll just cast this. Alright. So we have 2 transfers on each team, and a trance immediately landed onto the Seeker of Cold. His trance is not landed. Tempest onto Oscar, but it looks like one of the Seekers is DCing. Balborg is DCing. So that is unfortunate. And I mean, hey, maybe it'll mean that this game will be a little bit better. Alright, anyway. Balborg seems to be back in game, spaced forward. And no shots landed yet. Rune about to spawn. SM does land a trance onto Info, and that rune is spawned, but nobody's getting it. Balborg will steal it right here. Tempest lands, doesn't hit Oscar's trance though, so pretty lucky for Thucry right there. But gets Ice Arrows on his trance, but Balborg used that rune for an ultimate onto Info, who's incredibly low. Another strike, missing 2, very close to hitting people low. But another trance onto the very low health Seeker. Oscar unable to really heal his teammate there. Just, it's kind of dysfunctional play by Cold for sure. And I actually believe in Cold Team's comp as well. Like, I think Astro Harbinger is like secretly like really good together. And we already know that like Seeker Harb is really good together, so I think, I mean, it's just skill disparity, I guess. Another trance, how many chances will Info hit that way? Shooting, trying to land some arrows. Balborg moving completely and almost had a 2-man fire arrow, but there's another shift. Ice arrow onto the Harbinger, while SM just farms an ult for free, doesn't even lose HP. And Astro actually spaces and trances inside the ult, so that's like, that's some old school BLC no. Not that you see SM ults very often anymore, but hey, little skill stuff. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna like AFK for like the 10 minutes or whatever. So yeah, I'll be back for the playoffs and shit. Oh, look at a slot. Too bad I am lagging. I don't know what to play, team. I will do Sprint Frost Stalker. Oh god. My stream settings might be too crazy. It's cause my sister's watching Netflix right now. And I have like pretty like steep stream settings on. Oh god. He picked the SM. And I'm like lagging. Oh, look, I'm okay. Except for that 3% reset. What the hell is that? Black Dagger. I hate when I don't breathe when I'm playing. It's so fucking awful. Oh my god. I could not kill anybody. I am definitely not warmed up for this. I played so bad. Okay. I can't even get that rune or like do anything. Oh, if he didn't land that. And wow, I just spaced in for that one. My aim is just off. Oh god. Yeah, I haven't changed my settings. Please just stab him. I can't like melee anybody right now. Feels so weird. Yeah, as soon as I do, my healer's not with me. Look at this meleeing. What a fucking awful game. I would probably leave right now for someone else to play, but nobody else is gonna want to play. Nobody likes playing in houses, it's so boring. Oh, that's observer shit. I don't want to pick anything, man. These people pick like SM fucking Seeker and shit. Oh god. I really hate Thorn NG as a comp though. I don't fucking care. I guess I'll do this. No one can blame you for losing on Glutton. Goddamn. I'm a big motherfucker. I shouldn't be pushing up, but I'm just gonna be retarded. I just missed the fucking stun. Ah! I don't know why Mad Villain picked Engineer when he knows all his harmful does is play Seeker now. Oh man. Oh shit, looks like the brackets are in. Oh shit, a lot of people are playing. I might just go after this round. Ah, that was not a good enlarge. Actually, I guess it worked out. I can't do anything! Oh my god, he should just die if Mad knew about it. If Mad like was looking at this guy. Okay. I gotta just like pull Seeker and try to kill him. It's like my only course of action, I think. And just hopefully the Thorn is handled well. Ah, he just got a 2-man fucking fire arrow. Okay, did he trans inward? No, he trans backward. Okay. I didn't land a 2-man frost shard. Oh, I missed my space. I like failed my space. I'm actually just dead. I'm not helping my team very well. Alright, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go cast. Oh god. Please load. I think this is the best game right here. Oh nice, it didn't start either. Alright, so this is Team Russia over here versus quite a good team. I don't know who Destic is. He might be a name change, but I just don't know you people well either, so he could just be some guy I've never heard of. But I know Marks are an opposite and they're really good. I don't know the two Russian dudes, but they have high grades and a lot of wins on their accounts, I believe. And I know Devil 777. He's really good. So it should be a pretty good match. Let's look at the comps. So Alk, Ranid, Inhib. I really like Ranid Inhib as a comp, and just Alk and Ranid and Alk and Inhib are good together too. So that comp should be pretty solid. But Metal Warden is good against Ranid for the most part, and even though Ranid's pretty good against Harb if you play it right, I think Harb is alright, like pretty good against Inhib, so it's pretty even. Anyway, Inhib's facing in. Misses his trance, but Blood Grip is a little bit too late, and he manages to walk out of its way. He's given Barrier and Runic Shield, but now has nothing. Uses space after getting hit by a meteor, and only landed a 1-man on that Runic Beam. Blackie has farmed an ult though, and he gets a stun and a 2-man ult onto Markster, who pops his totem a little bit too early. Did Markster have his space? I wonder. He did have space. And he had Aegis as well, and his R, so that's a bit of a mistake by him, but it was still a very compromising position. Devil had an ult farmed, like really soon by that point, or he maybe even had it by then. But they still could have killed Z King. He was really low. Harb's facing in. Goes for an Affliction, doesn't hit anybody, who's slightly off. Wuju already used, no Shadow Bolt landed, but this Renin has no cooldowns. He was given Runic and Barrier though. And Z-King spaces far enough away from the DPS. Nice Meteor by him, landing onto Destic. Leash onto Ranid as well as Affliction. I'm not sure who got that rune though, I think Ranid got it. Nice burst onto Ranid though, huge, or onto Harbinger, sorry, from Ranid. Landed the full 3 Blow Darts, plus Toxin Bomb, plus like space. And the space was a backstab, and there's even an Alchemist Deadly Inject about to explode on him, and Harbinger, or sorry, even Inhibitor was M1ing him there. So Harbinger definitely overextending. Did not have any cooldowns. I think he used space to try to get out, but that space is an instant. It takes a little bit of time for it to go through, so he ended up dying anyway. Space by Inhib and Harb. Inhib has no space, no trance, but does have 2 shields, and makes good use of them. Doesn't take any damage, or not that much damage, at least opposite, took just about as much, but Blackie actually got hit by a Shadow Bolt. Has to back off, did get the rune. 3 darts landed onto Destic, and Deadly Inject as well, but Destic does have another shift. And Blackie has farmed up an ult already almost, as has King. Markster throws out an ult onto King, and so does opposite. Is King gonna die here? No, he has Aegis, so he's fine. 2-man ult lands, and the Iron Claw is broken by a huge Ranid burst, so opposite does take a lot of damage. Goo thrown out, but it's more of a zoning goo, if anything else. And opposite Iron jumping back. I think, well, he lands a nice charge bolt onto the Ranid R-ing and stealthing onto Destic, who does steal a rune behind enemy lines. Spacing onto Alk, misses Blood Grip though, point blank one, and now he's in quite a lot of trouble, but there is a very nice leash and it knocks 2 out. Is Devil gonna die? No, but Z-King might. He trances backwards. Destic had an ult right there. And an EX space forward that Shadow Bolt actually landed onto the Ranid, so he was too low to do anything about his inhib, who was also pushing in. I think that Woji was, or Woj, however you want to say it, was a little bit of a mistake there. He could have like went in with it and then went back out, but he instead just went deeper in with it. I think that was a big mistake by Z-King right there. Harb spacing in, nice trance landed by Z-King. He still has 2 shields and a space of his own. Doesn't stack the shield, so well played by him. Runic gonna interrupt Shadow Bolt and even a Metal Blast from opposite, but Z-King is still kind of overextending. He's given, I believe that was 3 barriers at once, so the stacking does occur. Iron Jump to try to knock him out of that leash, but look at Blackie, look at the work he did onto opposite. Z-King really low, Nether Strike used onto him, but he has 2 shields once again. Shadow Bolt lands onto Devil, but he's at such high HP, he doesn't care. And they go back to steal their rune. Ranid does have an ult off of that. Lands a trance, Z-King that is, onto Destic. And Ranid gets a 2-man space, and that plus just 1 ult tick from Z-King is going to take out Metal Warden. And Ranid had an ult after that, so that's quite a big lead from Cold here, and I think they're doing really well in comparison to Warm. I think they're going for the inhib a little bit too much, but it's hard to let him do whatever he wants. It's kind of painful either way. I think one thing they really need to do is just spread out. I think Harb should kind of be in the center and Metal Warden should be kind of over here. Yeah, they're kind of doing it right now, so this is better positioning. I don't know about Blood Gripping the heart or the inhibin. You kind of want him to be irrelevant, but then again, you also want energy, so it's hard to say. He lands a Blood Grip onto Blackie after he takes the rune, but Blackie kind of gets out of it anyway. 3 stacks exploded onto Destic of inhib stacks, and another 3 stacks onto Grimrog, and that's just it for Grim. 3 stacks plus Runic Beam. Marks are staying in a little bit too long. He goes down. And I mean, this has kind of been a stomp. I did think that Cold Team would do better, but or would win. Like, I kind of thought they would win, but I didn't think they would win by this much. Pretty crazy. Oh, this is like the silent part of the song. Okay. Anyway, round 6, and Destic still doing the space opener. Doesn't Blood Grip Z-King this time though. 2-man, God, what is that called? How do I not know that spell? Runic Discharge. 2-man Runic Discharge. And an interrupt on Blackie, but he doesn't actually get interrupted on anything. Gets spaced out and R'd by opposite out of that leash and takes a lot of damage. An ult farmed up already by Z-King. No doubtedly he took the rune. Undoubtedly, sorry. And it's down onto opposite, who does have his own ult, but gets spaced straight after he was stunned by Blackie, and kind of in some trouble here. Glow darted, spaced, but spaced back into the Toxin Bomb and got hit by I believe a 2-stack Ohm Bolt, 2 stacks of Soul and into an Ohm, and it just finishes him off there with the Toxin Bomb and the 2 Blow Dart stacks as well. So pretty fast kill. I mean, Cold looked really good here. I think they did kind of out-comp Worm a bit, but Worm could have definitely put up a better fight. I think it was just Probably just skill disparity. Let's see. Is there another good game going on? I gotta choose something fast. This might be okay. Actually, I don't know like any of these people, so and it looks like it's 4-0 already. So it's SM and Igniter. Old school comp, but probably not being ran correctly. Scan looks like he has ult. Yeah, he's gonna pop it onto an SM. Not something you see a lot with button ults, but it was actually about to work out right there. Ku Klux Carl. Nice name. That you just saw that harpoon volcano combo. Like that's what this combo used to be all about. You harpoon somebody and then you volcano at like the same exact time. If the harpoon lands, they're gonna get hit by the volcano if they don't have space. So that's kind of the gist of that comp, but unfortunately we don't get to see very much of it. It's that and like whirling blades into volcanoes as well. Whirling blade, volcano, meteor, tempest. Just throw it all onto like one group of people. I believe I am lagging. Oh, no, that game was just over. Okay. And it looks like someone's DC'd here. Oh, it's a 2v2, alright. So I don't know anyone's HP, but it looks like Worm have the 4-0 lead. Slann gets Treacherous Roots right on that Ranid ultimate, so that was well played by him. Pull onto the Ranid, and two Thorn M2s landing on him as well. R and a stun onto Slann, but he gets another Treacherous Roots and a Mushroom Spore, very much on the mark. Fear landing on Skynet as well. A pull onto Salvat, who has Salavat, who has his ult, but he actually missed it. Gets pulled again, but Parim gets the rune, pops the Dead Roots, and kind of sing everybody with it. I didn't notice, but Skynet got feared in his stealth. I was wondering why he was running away. Another two-man pull, really nice. And two-man temporal, that was good too. And Ranid goes down solo to Herald. Like I said, it's hard to tell people's HP. This Nomad actually has Talisman of Teleportation. That's interesting. When you have like an EX space that does the same thing but way better. Anyway. I think I'm gonna try to find one that I think will be close. I think that Devil game is gonna be really stompy. This one might be close. I think I might watch that one. Where's the nerd guy? Nerdamir, or whatever his name is. I can't find the Nerdamir guy. Oh, here's a good game though. Yeah, this should be a really good game, I think. Oh, there he is. Huh. I think both of these games have really good potential. We'll see though. Guess who is sniping? It's not you. Alright. So I think that this is gonna be an Igniter pick. I just have a feeling. Igniter and Gunner. Polarny gonna be Pomp, or I think he plays like Pomp, Grimrog, and Dryad. And Cat Lover picks Randit a lot. So there's Dryad. I think actually I was gonna say Cold's team is good against Worms, but I think it's kind of the opposite. Now with the inhib pick, I'm not so sure anymore. I think like an SM or something would have been really great. This is like one of the few times that SM is actually just like a really cancerous hero. But I think inhib is alright too. He just can't get hit too much. He can't give people energy for free, because like Dryad and Igniter already handle the Ranid and the Gunner really well, I would say. Gunner Ranid spacing in immediately, and Ranid given barrier gets a nice big combo onto Assassin and brings him down to half already. Another stun and Aegis combo for Cat Lover. He does get hit by a Firestorm though, and Hercules, will he get that rune? He doesn't want to fight for it, but he gets knocked into it anyway. So that was pretty lucky by him. And Cat Lover has his own ult. Assassin has one as well. Nomar has one. And Dryad pops his ult. So many ults going off at the same time. Polarny will have his soon as well, but he faces the Ranid, or he doesn't face the Ranid with his shield, gets stunned, but still gets a 2-man ult. And Assassin dies in the chaos. That was like 6 ults at once, so that was pretty interesting. Cat Lover almost timing that right to cancel cast and get the stun after the trance, but doesn't get it quite correctly. And Hercules might die, but no. He rocket jumps, and what is it called again? Yeah, it is called rocket jump. And yeah, he kills him with the rocket jump. And that was really chaotic, but I think when it's that chaotic, that's... Igniter will do well in the chaos, but I think Inhibitor will do less well. Like, unless he has a lot of energy farmed, and he might have trouble farming energy. He did have a lot, but he has Aegis. He doesn't have Frost Shard, so... I mean, Aegis is not bad versus Ranid, though. I think Frost Shard would still probably be better. Well, maybe not, because people won't clump up too much. But anyway, Cat Lover given barrier, tries to stealth onto Inhib, and Inhib spaces away. And also, I believe landed Trance on an Execute. Firestorm landed onto Online Us, and he's going to have a lot of healing to make up for that. But another stealth and Aegis combo, and Polarny just loses half his health because of the pin down, or I believe it's just a regular Execute. And Polarny's in a lot of trouble. He gets pinned down or executed again. I think that one was actually a pin down. 2-man ult coming up from Cat. He's kind of overextending, but he does space away. Nice Webby's attempt, but Cat Lover actually R's out of that, so he doesn't get Webbied. And he can get a stun on Assassin here, but his teammates are molten shackled, so there's no follow-up for that. Nomar has nothing, but Cat Lover has to identify that and has to like walk back towards him. He was given Aegis, but he didn't. I don't think he knew that he got Aegis, because, well, I think when you stealth, I'm not sure, but I think when you stealth and someone gives you Aegis, you can't really tell unless you hear the sound. So I think he didn't know that, and if he did, he might have been able to get a kill on Polarny, but Polarny ends up ulting him as soon as the Aegis was over and got a kill. I think the Ranid player is just getting hit slightly too much. He could play it a little bit slower, but he's also kind of missing some opportunities. While I think Worm's doing well. Polarny is kind of a weak point from what I'm seeing. He's letting the Ranid just stun him too much, and he's not blocking the stuns as well. Like with the shield, he's not aiming to where like the Ranid might turn. But anyway, Hercules forces out a Living Flame, which is going to make Assasas be a little bit defensive, but that's okay because he does have Firestorm. Stun into Execute combo onto Assasas. That was really nice. Brought him down to 60%. Another Living Flame for the Modar, but look at Cold's HP and also their energy. Assasas knocks back Hercules, but gets stunned up. Another Living Flame, but he's actually in trouble. The ult ends up missing though, and now Nomar is kind of by himself. One ult landing, one man ult from Assas, but it's not going to be enough. There's even an Aegis on the gunner, so wasn't that big of a deal. 2 Dryad ults going off at the same time, unless they can kill Hercules, which they won't be able to. Yeah, there's no comeback here. Yeah, that round, it went a little bit crazy. I think it was both mutually Assasas. I think Assasas was hoping that Nomar would stay and give him like Runic Shield and give him interrupts and stuff on his target. But he kind of didn't do that. He ventured off to like this area, and then Assasas was by himself when he was pushing aggressively. So it's kind of awkward. They both ended up losing their fights, and Amp to start off onto Cat Lover. He gets pushed back, and his Aegis is dispelled or is broken immediately in his stealth. Nomar is just taking too much, and then he spaces forward. Definitely not what you want to do right there. Rocket Launcher 2-man hitting quite a few people, and like Cole just have Worm where they want him. This is kind of what I was thinking about the inhib pick. It's not very good against Ranid Gunner. Like he's gonna have such a hard time like fitting in here like in any useful way. He also needs to have like really perfect aim, and I don't think Nomar really does. He's missing quite a lot of stuff. But anyway, 2-man ult coming up from Ranid, but he was stacked twice with Weaken, so it didn't really do that much. And now a 2-man ult from Assasas onto Online, who's just getting hit by everything. Assasas's aim is so good sometimes, and nice Webby's attempt, but Online was able to just escape it, and he might have died because he used Reflect instead of Aegis right there. That would have been really bad, but 3-man ult just kind of randomly coming out from Cat Lover, and it ends up killing Assasas, and I agree with them. He almost had another ult too, but that could not have been like more perfectly timed. It's kind of hard. I wonder if Polarny did have Skype, if they were Skyping, if he could have said, Ranid's gonna ult, like, don't come here, but like, you can't really type that out in time. So like Assasas would have had to just predicted that was going on. Doesn't have to use Living Flame this time, but Aegis is deployed early enough so that Cat Lover doesn't get pushed back. Runic Shield locked, but an Aegis is given off to him, and already the trade was just good for Cold, and they just get runes every single time. A stun onto Nomar, he gets amped up, given 2 barriers, but after that he has nothing. An ult, amp, 3 toxin bomb, or 3 dart toxin, so much damage onto him, and he ends up backing up. Cat Lover spacing in on Polarny, and then juking a stealth onto Assasas, but Assasas had ult, so it ended up working pretty well for him. Polarny only hitting on 1-man on that ult, and then getting stunned after. He's actually in trouble. Locked on his Soothing Melody. If 1 rocket hits, he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Got hit by an ult, and oh man, Polarny rage surrendering. That's just too bad. Okay, now time 2-4. Oh god. Had this round too. I lost all in 1 second. Pretty much. If he had hit Cat Lover, it might have been better, but was slightly off on hitting him, and yeah, I'd agree with Assas there, even though I secretly know that's not true. But anyway, 2-man execute landed by Hercules, really nice by him, and a Firestorm landed onto his stealth Granted, so that works out well for Assas, but not well enough. He's having to push too much, and his inhib finally comes in as soon as Assas pulls out, so it's just really awkward. He got a really nice space and double interrupt going, but there's no follow-up for it. And that Webbies was slightly awkward for Assas, but I won't fault him for it because he's been really trying to carry his team this entire game right here. Nomar amped up, kind of in no man's land, gets ulted, wastes his trance, but Rena doesn't know that probably, but Assassin was ulted, didn't have Living Flame, at least I doubt he did. Even if he did, he was still pretty fucked. Oh, I guess he did. But yeah, he's still pretty fucked. He had no space after that. I guess he had Crippling Fire, but look at the Cold Team's HP. There's like no coming back. So that was kind of stompy. I thought that might be closer. Let's see that other game that I thought would be close as well. Oh, I need to get new music. Scores 2-2 from the looks of it, and it's gonna be 2-3. All right. Hopefully, this music doesn't get muted, but it's still possible. Anyway, scores 3-2. And it is the same comp that Nerdimer was running last time. SC, Rav, Grimrock versus the same comp that the other team was running as well. Moist gets CC'd up. Nerdimer trying to reflect, but Moist lands his Shadow Bolt just perfectly, and so much damage happens to Nerd right there. No totem for him either. Space back on his reflect, and he gets hit by another Shadow Bolt. Look how low he is. He's gonna take a rune, and now David is actually, or Dave Eddie is Davey Eddie is dying to the Grimrock, actually trying to CC him, but Moist is pushing up with his own ultimate onto Dagoth, and Affliction lands onto Nerd. So he needs to get more heals. David E is like doing a zoning Stormcaller ult right now. And Nerd has an ult, but his health is so low and Cold's health is so high, it's gonna be hard to make it useful. Captain even spacing out of it, and Nerd at literally a fraction of HP and behind enemy lines right now. Punts Captain, and Captain might go down. Captain almost overextending. Definitely would have gone down if Dagoth had landed that ult on him, but Nerdimer does go down to a Shadow Bolt while he was silenced, and yeah, it looks like this was the game we should have watched. No Spin Strike anyway. But yeah, Spin Strike on 0.7. That ult though, Nerdimer, he basically accidentally lost his team the round because he punted the Seeker out of that ult. So very, very unlucky for them. But Nerdimer spacing in. Already used his Spike Shield. Gets the Reflect off for the rune though. And actually, David E is actually taking out the Harbinger 1v1. Trying to CC up Grim, but quite missing. And Nerd has farmed an ultimate now, as has Captain. But Nerd's gonna get a really big one. Will Captain get a big one? He gets a good one onto Davide, but no space for him, and he takes like a full 577. No totem or anything, but look at what Nerdimer is doing on the backline. Moist incredibly low. Captain has to really get somebody low here. Davide has another ult, or well, has a ult. I don't know if he used one, but he ends up overextending with it, while Nerd tries to go for an ult of his own. But Moist had his ult pop, so he didn't take full damage from the Ravel, and there's probably a totem there as well. So I think if Davide or Davey Eddie had backed up, I think with that ult he could have killed Seeker for sure, because he just has to wait for the Seeker to use one space, and like as long as it's not double space, double casted, you just space him and then ult them. And the Seeker only has Frost Shard, so like Frost Shard is not good against Stormcaller ult at all. It does nothing. So yeah, that's pretty unfortunate for them. Scored 3-4 now. Thunderstrike lands and a punt following it. Blood Grip onto David. Does he have space? It looks like he doesn't. He pops it after he loses half of his HP. Goes for a Hailstorm onto Moist, which pops his Nether Strike. Space forward by Davey Eddie, and one-man amp. Ult coming out from Nerd. Lands onto Huzzah, and I believe Moist as well, and a very nice EX jump. What is that called? Chain flash? Okay. Very nice chain flash by Davietti to get the finishing blow onto the Moist. That spell actually does a deceptively high amount of damage. Yeah, BLC kind of can't be casted. Game's too fast, man. I don't know. I'm improving, I think. But score is 4-4. Final round, flash forward and a space forward by Moist. Gonna shoot out a Shadow Bolt, fire arrow off the mark. That was a really nice use of that spike shield onto Davietti. He ended up getting hit by a lot of arrows, but took like very little damage. And Moist gets the rune. Thunder struck by Nerd though. Space or flash onto Captain, and Frost Shard used onto both of them, I believe. But Captain has an ult farm. He got it really fast. He has to be careful not to reflect himself though, and he won't hear if he casts it here. But will he miss it? Nerd casting his ult, and yes, he will miss it. Nerd spacing in for Grimrock, and I think Captain should have held onto it for a little bit longer. Weaken thrown out, Curse of Weakness thrown out, and Fear onto Huzzah. I think that was kind of a waste of that ult, but it should be alright if Davietti doesn't go down. He kind of went ham with that Stormcaller ult, the Emperor's Wrath, but now Dagoth might be dead. He has Aegis and Last Stand though. Okay, so he's fine. Moist is going to pursue, but Nerd has to keep these two CC. They're incredibly low. And Nerd actually gets hit by a Shadow Bolt, pops Aegis, gets hit by a Blind Affliction. That was really nice. Ice Arrow popped out, not going to hit anybody. Nice Affliction again, does hit Nerd. So he might spread it. I guess he didn't. Spacing onto Captain, and Davietti used his space too. He's getting hit by a lot of Seeker spells. Nice Frost Arrow. Oh my god, but if he saved... if he didn't shoot his arrow so fast and let that Nether Strike finish, that could have been the round. Nice space away from that Curse of Weakness though. I wonder if he knew what he was spacing away from. But 2v2 is forced, both ranged heroes down. And it's Grimrock, and Melee. Ult comes out from Nerd, and it does quite a lot of damage. Misses his Thunderstrike, but Aegis is at least forced. Dagoth gets hit by a Curse of Shadow, or a Shadow Curse, while he's at like the lowest amount of HP. Like he barely lived by like 0.1 second or something. That was really close. Curse of Weakness thrown out onto Dagoth, but he's not getting feared immediately. That's kind of how you do it right there. And an ult comes out onto Dr. Polish, but Moist has nice reactions, and then they shifts it. Nice space by Polish dodging that Curse of Weakness, and it's really going down to the wire. Sudden Death Fog coming in, but a Shadow Curse finishes off Rav, and now Dagoth will go down. What did Rav have right there? Rav had space and Spike Shield and Aegis, so that was kind of a big mistake. If he had popped like one of those things, he probably would have been fine. But really nice game. I really wish I casted that one from beginning to end. But yeah, thank you, Mahalalala. Yeah. So what's the next game? I don't know what the best game would be here. This game is potentially good, maybe not. I don't think that these guys are like too top tier. And I've never seen... Oh, Herodine is right here. But I'd say it's between this game and this game. I kind of want to see Devil play, since we only watched his first game so far. I really hope my stream doesn't get muted. Huh. I think I'm gonna watch that other game, actually. I think Devil team has it down. I think the Harridan game might be closer. And they even picked faster. Alright, so we got pretty much a mirror match. I think... Actually, I was gonna say Hexme might have better medallions, but Huzzah's medallions are actually really good against the Reaver, so... Or like, I mean, like Smorg Seeker is always good, but the Frost Shard versus the Reaver can really work out. We have Sprint, Frost Shard, Harv, which is kind of awkward, but it could definitely work. So basically, the only change up is the melee that they've picked, but I think Harv might have an easier time in this matchup because of the Grimrogs. Anyway, Hexme uses his trance, kind of fails on it, gets spaced back into his spawn, while Pupil loses 1v1 to Moist. 3-man ult already coming out from Huzzah, and he has a double cast space and pushes forward, kills someone with Frost. And I mean, talk about a fast round. I mean, he must have had at least 220 TPS or something when those ults exploded. Let's look at the storm damage. 1500 damage right there. Very fast fast win coming out there. Cold team is definitely gonna have a hard time. I'd say they really need to protect their Reaver, but at the same time the Reaver needs to play so immaculately and not space in the Shadow Volts. That's kind of a problem, and Polish gets a really nice space onto the Reaver as well after that, spaces him back, but Huzzah ended up moving forward, not expecting it perhaps, and Shadow Curse and a lot of just AoE onto Hexme right now, but well, he has Trance, Nether Strike, and Nether Strike deployed, Trance used, but ends up missing a Shadow Bolt. Meteor deployed by I believe the Reaver ends up missing a little bit. Pulls the chains, tries to get a second kick, but Harridan chases him out. Nether shift onto Captain Huzzah. He would have tranced that space anyway. 2-man Curse of Weakness lands, and Moist is feared, and he's actually in a lot of trouble if the Seeker can land any arrows, but ends up missing a lot of shots. That's really painful. And Blood Grip used on to Huzzah by accident, but ends up being okay. Lands an ultimate onto Hexme. Shadow Bolt lands onto him as well, and Pupil incredibly low. Sliver of HP, but oh, he tries to steal the rune, but gets Blood Gripped. Ends up getting it anyway with his space, and Moist ends up spacing that Seeker ult. Gets a pull and pops ult during the pull, gets an M1 before that silence was over, and Seeker is just dead. Lands a Shadow Bolt as well. Maybe that other game might have been better to watch. I think all these games on this round are going to be kind of stomps. Yeah, it's hard to be in Cold's position. I think Worm are just kind of like better playing, like they're just better overall against Cold. I only know Harridan on Cold team. I don't know the other two guys. Pupil does have a grade 16 though. I think it's easy to get that nowadays though. I think they like change the way stuff works, so like the more you play, the higher rank you get. I can't tell though. Anyway, Pupil 1v1ing Moist, and he's actually kind of winning. Misses his Drunken Haze though, and doesn't get the rune, but his Seeker actually lands some nice shots. Moist gets an ult though, and Pupil continues to fight. Probably not a good idea. and tries to ult. Got spaced back by Captain Huzzah to like barely not be hit by that Shadow Bolt, but ends up dying anyway. Even though the Seeker ult came in like so many times, Reavers will die while they're ulting. It's hard to know when you can go for it, and that was definitely not a time he could. Unless Harridan had like, I don't know, like a totem, perfect heals, and like a space for him, like so that he could leave the fight like immediately after the ult. They might play this back though. No, Moist has Nether Shift, so he won't take any ult damage, and now he's ulting himself, so he should do well enough to get a kill here. Yeah, Seeker does go down to a space and Ice Arrow combo. Well, yeah, Reaver just he needs to. It kind of sucks. He might need to actually just go on the Harbinger, but it basically needs to be like he probably deals with the Seeker shooting at him better than the Harbinger would. So it probably needs to be Reaver on the Harb and Seeker on the Harb behind him, and then you go for plays once you have energy and once people have used their cooldowns and stuff. You can make switches, but nice space in onto Captain. Harridan spaces him in, but he gets Nether Shifted. Moist has no Nether Shift though, and he's by himself, so if they can land some M1s, they should do a lot of damage. Lightning Arrow plus really nice Meteor coming out does quite a lot of damage to Huzzah specifically, and Huzzah is on the backline now with Moist doing the same thing on the enemy's backline. People trying to pursue out Huzzah, but it hits a trance, and Huzzah just goes in for the 2v2 play, which is actually going to work out for them pretty well. Both Seekers ulting each other, and both of them will die to each other, so really shows you the potential of a mirror match right there. Pupil has an ult farmed up, but the HP disparity is huge right now, so Totem gets killed by the Moist, and Pupil actually kind of wastes his Aegis right there. Two-man Affliction lands, and I think that's kind of it. Yeah, Moist comes in, gets a Blood Grip and some M1s, and it's gonna be enough to clean up the Reaver right there. And yeah, Harridan gonna run away for a little bit, but I almost want to like leave this game. I guess I'll watch it to the end. Why not? I really hope there isn't like some game that's going like 4-4 right now. But yeah, anyway. I think it's clear that Warmore a little bit better. I think Captain Huzzah is doing much better on Seeker. And it's really important when you pick Seeker to do like really well on it. It's like one of the only heroes that like that's like especially true. But anyway, a lot of cooldowns expended onto Warm, or by cold onto Warm, but not much damage done in the end from it. A Blood Grip and another strike onto Hexme, but Trance was hit. Moist was a little bit greedy with that M1. Could have probably waited and maybe even got a kill, but it doesn't matter because on the backline, Pupil's taking a lot of damage. Used his Meteor and his Aegis, has nothing left after that, a sliver of HP. Earth Arrow onto Moist, and he Hex takes that space that Harridan gave to him. Frost Arrow used, but yeah, this game's over. A little bit one-sided, unfortunately, but you get what you pay for, and we are watching a free tournament. No money earned here. Anyway, yeah, it looks like Devil's 5-0'd as well, so I guess we were just picking who to watch the 5-0. This game might be close though. Okay, here we go. Hopefully Cold make a comeback in this next round and we can get 2 more rounds right here. Alright, nice 2-man leash right there, but no damage comes from it. Tornado onto a Thu and pull onto Manure, but as Nance doesn't throw an X-Strike in his direction, which I think is a mistake. Could have been a lot of damage there, but Manure is still kind of out of position. Balbor getting feared, and this Digital Mask can actually do a lot of damage to that Dread right there, but actually Nanch is taking so much damage. Dodges that ult, kind of dodges his own BP's ult though. Balbor got hit by 1, I believe, so it's pretty worth it. X-Strike landing onto Thu as he's charging up a Charge Bolt. Iron Jump, but there is a Blood Priest shield, and I think that Blood Priest shield might have actually killed Metal Warden there. And it was just in time as well for Balborg's ult. Nan's almost, Nanshe going down, like almost going down. But CC's the Guardian just in time. And looks like we will get a final round here. Another ult already farmed up by BP there. Thucry definitely got left in the dust a little bit ever since he got CC'd that first time, at the very beginning of the round. But his hero is definitely good against Nomad. At least he was showing that it was. Missed his Charge Bolt, pull into a Mushroom Spore onto Manure. He can't get hit by those pulls. Wisp flying through though and healing up his team, but it doesn't matter if they're cold, they do get the rune anyway. And everyone's stacked up for AoE. Nice X-Strike onto Manure. Balborg spacing in, but doesn't pop his trance early enough for that Nomad ult and doesn't silence it. Through getting CC'd up when he needs heals. 1-man ult, I believe, onto Nanch.